Hello and welcome to Georgia Bulldogs Live here on the Georgia Voice of College Football. We are coming to you as early as we can because my co-host was at the game last night. I'm sure, as always, it was a hell to get out of there, but it's a lot more fun when your team wins, and we'll definitely get to that. But Georgia wins 35-10, and we are coming to you. I'm Matt Green, my co-host over there, Bo Underwood. Bo, how you feeling, sir?
I'm good, Matt. How are you, man? I mean, what a win for the Bulldogs, man. We'll obviously get into it, but dang, dude. I mean, what a performance, man, last night.
Yeah, it's becoming a fun trend as a Georgia fan to say I think this was Georgia's most complete performance of the year. I think this is 2 weeks in a row now that Mississippi State's solid team, but not exactly the number 10 ranked team in America. So to have the Texas Longhorns come in and what was a close game for 3 quarters, to see Georgia just absolutely open it up and destroy the Longhorns. It was a good feeling.
Yeah, absolutely, man. It really feels like this team is peaking at the perfect time because I agree. I mean, the Mississippi State win was a great win for this team and everything, but this is just kind of on another level of being like, hey, like offense was dominant, the defense was dominant. There were some huge special teams plays. Kirby Smart was aggressive all game. Like, I mean, this is just you really can't ask for a bigger win than this in that moment. I mean, Georgia is probably a shoe in for the college football playoff right now. Texas is probably all but eliminated, and after watching that game, you really can't be mad at that result. It kind of feels like you earned that. I mean, that's a huge win for this team, and one that I had a feeling Georgia could win the game, but I did not foresee them just dominating it the way that they did.
Yeah, and when we went on our shows with the Texas Voice of College Football guys, I made sure to say, and I think I said on this show, I felt like there was blowout potential in this game if Georgia was able to run the ball, and it's like they were able to run the ball, well, but it's not like they really just ran all over Texas by any means. It's still one of the best run defenses in the country, but it wasn't really that. It was Gunnar Stockton just making the plays and this defense. Like, I don't think many of us, for all of our predictions, I don't think many people had Georgia holding Texas at just 10 points. I think there's a lot more shootout vibes maybe going around with some people to just lock Texas down the way they did. It's just great to see this defense performing the way they did on Saturday.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I for one definitely didn't think that Georgia was just gonna beat the brakes off of Texas the way that they did. I mean, it really is just a complete performance. I think that you and I both kind of thought that they were going to be able to control the rushing battle and do well there and force Texas into passing situations, which they did. But man, I mean, the secondary played so well. The back end held up so well. I mean, like Texas's passing offense was so inefficient. Arch Manning went 27 of 43 for 250 yards. I mean, 5 yards per attempt. Like it really took everything. The pass rush played well. He was uncomfortable all night. And then, the secondary, the DBs played really well. And then on top of that, you have Kirby Smart maybe coaching the most aggressive game of his entire career. And like every single time that it looked like Texas could kind of get back in it and the door was, cracking open a little bit, Georgia would just slam it right shut. And that's what championship caliber teams do. And that's what Georgia did.
Yeah, I feel like you said multiple things, and I do want to like touch on all of them. And in fairness, I didn't predict a blowout either, but there was like a weird confidence I kind of felt like I had going into this game. Like, I don't think me and you like really thought this was a game Georgia was going to lose. We were almost like, just being Georgia fans, we were almost like, I was almost nervous about my confidence, like I was like, why am I like just kind of like, I was way more nervous for the Ole Miss game than I was this game. Like, I think it's just because this team has an identity now and we kind of know who they are, and they did it again on Saturday night, and they just didn't get off to a slow start. And I think maybe I've been downplaying Georgia and been soft on Georgia. It's like they're not getting off to slow starts. They're just like not the elite of the elite juggernauts. They're just a good team that's finding ways to win. Maybe this is where I was wrong, that no, if they play the way they were capable of playing for 4 quarters, they can go out and smash top 10 teams. And that's basically what they did. Like score touchdowns on their first 2 drives, like, and then I mean, this is a close game. Going into the fourth quarter, it's 14-10 and Texas has all the momentum, and for Georgia to put it away the way they did, like you said, Kirby Smart, like I think that's almost like the first thing you have to take from this game is like Kirby Smart. I think for years it was just talked about. He's just a recruiter. He's not didn't get credit for how good of an in-game coach he is. It's like this is now 2 years in a row where Texas had all of the momentum in the second half at one point. He calls the fake punt to Arian Smith that just totally, swings the momentum of the game. And then same with this onside kick was just also Peyton Woodring. That's who kicked it, right?
Yeah, what a kick.
What an onside kick. Like you couldn't have planned it perfect. Like get that second hop, like it was impressive.
Yeah, that was crazy. I still cannot believe that they even tried that. And yeah, I mean, yeah, you're right. Like the execution on that was so perfect. Cash Jones, I mean, he couldn't have Peyton Woodring couldn't have handed the ball to Cash Jones any better.
Yeah. He literally would have. He's like, if I can put it this far off the ground, like 12 yards, like it couldn't have been more perfect. Also, because of that, Georgia possessed the ball for 16 and a half of the final 20 minutes of this game. Like that's just, and outscore them 21-0 in the fourth quarter. Like it's just, this is what this team does. They're a fourth quarter team. And it's like, you saw how good they can be if they also play well for the first 3 quarters and then dominate in the fourth quarter. Like this team can win a national championship. I think that's my biggest takeaway from watching this Saturday. And like, Texas isn't the best team in the country by any means, but I came away from this game thinking Georgia is capable of winning the national championship more so than any other point in the season.
Yeah, absolutely. That's kind of where I'm at too. I didn't really think that there was going to be a complete, 60-minute, all 3 phases domination type of win over this caliber of opponent this year. Every single game that Georgia won, there was something to nitpick. There was something. It's like, oh well, they didn't, they didn't get enough pressure, or the offense, left too many points on the board or whatever. Like there was no wire to wire, just dominant win like this until last week against Mississippi State. You kind of saw what this team's ceiling could be and what they could do when they were really on. And to see that against this kind of team, Texas was playing for its season. Like they had to win this game to make the playoff. And the fact that Georgia just took it to them the way that they did is really crazy to me. I mean, I just Texas had all this hype going into the year. They're supposed to be this juggernaut of a team. Dominant on both lines of scrimmage, great quarterback, everything like that. And Georgia just beat them really bad. And yeah, that onside kick, I really think it epitomizes the entire game in terms of Georgia just like, we're up, we've got the momentum, and we are not even going to entertain the possibility of you getting back into it. Huge game from Kirby Smart, man. For all the times, over his career, you've got like the Alabama fake punt from 2018 or whatever. Like he's had like funky moments as an in-game coach, but I think games like this just kind of show you how far he's really come. And goodness gracious.
I think it also speaks to his mentality too, because like that was pretty early on, that fake punt. Like that could have made you trigger shy, about ever pulling some like stuff like that again. So it hasn't. Clearly Kirby knows a lot more than we do. But it's also like that's coming off of that drive where you're up 14-10 and Texas has got all the momentum at that point, and you have the 4th and 3, 4th and 2 on your own 36. And to stay aggressive, even though you have the lead late in the third quarter, like stay aggressive. And then you had the 4th and 5 later on that drive, like go for it twice on 4th down, and they jump off sides and you convert. Also, did they pick up the pass interference, or did they say because of an offsides it couldn't be pass interference? Because I've never heard of like, oh, it's a free play, like the defense can just interfere and like there's no consequences. So I don't know, did they pick up the defensive pass interference on that play? Do you know?
I actually don't know either. That was weird. I'm not sure. I thought it might have something to do with the offsides. I know that offsides can make the rule book kind of weird, and there's like a bit of like
Like
gray
the
area there.
ensuing
But
penalties aren't going to count because you already
yeah,
jumped off sides. Is that a
I
thing?
have I have no idea really. I still don't know why that got. I guess it got picked up, right? I mean, I don't know why that wasn't a penalty for pass interference.
Yeah, I wasn't sure either. So if someone knows, if we got a ref in the chat, feel free to jump in there. But shout out to everyone who's tuning in live and everything. Chris, what a game by them dogs. Absolutely, sir. Bill Norton, Georgia is peaking at the right time. I really think that's what this team feels like they're doing right now. Like I think sometimes like narratives like that are a little overblown. It's like because Ohio State didn't peak at the right time, they literally lost their last game of the regular season and then just still got in the 12-team format. But they're a super talented team. You definitely feel better the way this team's playing right now. Also, Bill Norton. Finally, the pass rush is coming on, and I think me and you had given up on the pass rush over here, sir. And Quintavious Johnson, I think has had some of his best games as a Georgia Bulldog these last 2 weeks. And I think this Georgia team is coming up. Gabe Harris also are they the ones that teamed up on that sack at the end of the first half? Was it the two of them?
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean they're
No,
just
it was hit. Actually, wait, it might have been was that with Raven Wilson? I don't
Gabe
remember.
Harris was one of them. I'm pretty
Yeah,
sure,
yeah,
right
he
on
did.
that one.
He wasn't on it.
But yeah, I mean, I was really impressed with Quintavious Johnson in this game. It's nice to see this team have a pass rush. Also, I mean, I don't know if you've heard anything about CJ Allen, but I don't have any information on CJ Allen at this point. I can look up something for here before the end of the show. But we had talked about how it had to be the inside linebackers that were getting pressure. So to see Georgia get pressure in other ways was that was big against a team like Texas. That was big time.
Yeah, that was huge. And I think Kirby said after the game that CJ should be okay, but I guess we just won't really know more until more information until the days have passed and we really know. But yeah, this was a huge game from this pass rush. I mean, like I kind of had given up on them, like you said. Like I just didn't think that there was going to be a game where Georgia could line up with four guys and just create havoc that way and just win off of being better than you. But man, whatever they've unlocked the last couple weeks, I mean, keep doing it because this was a huge game. They started playing Zayden Walker on the edge. Started
Yes.
lining him up over the ball, or like that's an off-ball linebacker, and they figured like let's just have him rush the passer. That's worked out really well for them. Gabe Harris has probably had the two best games of his career back to back. Last week against Mississippi State, and this week against Texas. Like this this was not the kind of performance I was expecting from this defense at all. I just didn't think they were going to be able to do this kind of thing where they can just win, create pressure just organically, and not have to rely on a bunch of stunts and a bunch of blitzes. But dude, like everything that we said before the game that they needed to do, they did. I mean, they shut down the run early, they dominated early downs, and they put Texas in clear passing situations. And Texas just didn't have any answer. Like Georgia made Texas one-dimensional, and they had all the answers to the test, and they passed with flying colors. There was just nothing that Texas could do.
Absolutely, man. It was a lot of fun to watch. I'm just sympathetic to Arch Manning. I feel like I found people like just trolling Arch Manning, like, oh, take that Arch. And it's like, I don't even care about Arch Manning. I don't think like Georgia dominated Arch or like he sucks or something. I just think Georgia's just a better team. But here's the stats I got for this game. Georgia won total yards 357 and 274. 229. I guess Texas had more passing yards, but the rushing yards, and I'll get to that. I made a special graphic just for the rushing yards, but 128 to 23 on the ground. Both teams had a turnover. I guess that's probably the only negative thing. One of the only bad decisions I feel like I can remember Gunner making all season, that interception early in the second half. Then 4 of 11 on third down wasn't even great. 1 for 1 on fourth down, but it kind of 2 for 2 since they went for it on that other one. But yeah, then 2 for 12 for Texas. I think they were 0 for 6 on third down in the first half, 2 for 3 on fourth down, and then Georgia controlling the time of possession, like 35 minutes. Like like I said, 16 of the last like 20 minutes of the game, Georgia had the ball. It's like you can win a lot of games if the other team's offense just can't even get on the field.
Yeah, that's insane. And I mean, that the interception was bad, and I don't mean to downplay it, but the interception is kind of what spurred the onside kick. So even that didn't have a completely negative outcome for Georgia. But yeah, I mean, like the way that they just controlled the ball in that game and dictated the pace the way that they did, like that's what championship teams do. Like championship teams force you to play football on their terms. They walk into the game and they declare what kind of game it's going to be, and they just kind of force you to live with that. And that's what Georgia did. Georgia did such a good job of just being like, we are going to shut down the run. We are going to put you in uncomfortable situations. We are going to just have you at a disadvantage throughout the game. And they did that really well. They cleaned up really well on third down, of course, as you see. And the tipping point for me was that onside kick and that overall aggressiveness from Kirby Smart to say, hey, like, we're not even going to give these guys a chance. We're not even going to let them back into the game. What
Yeah,
a
I
huge
mean,
performance.
the just how discouraging it is too. Like if you're on offense on Texas, you finally get something going. The score's 14-10 last time you were on the field. And then the next time that offense takes the field again, they're down 28-10. Like that's just a game changer, just a backbreaker. And it's kind of like we talked about this game comparing it to Alabama. Like Georgia, obviously, they didn't dominate Alabama to have 23 rushing yards, but they did win the rushing battle by like 100 yards. It was like 200 and something to like, just over 100. And Texas doesn't have Ty Simpson. It was like if you make Texas have to beat you through the air, how Alabama did, Alabama was just somehow able to do it. It's like I think Georgia would still take that exact approach against Alabama if they were to play tomorrow. It's like we can take away the run game, dominate on the ground, have over 200 yards rushing. We're going to win that game more times than not. Ty Simpson just had a great day that Saturday. Like Arch Manning, I don't think was ever capable of beating Georgia that way. They don't have the receivers to do it either. I think that's honestly probably one of the bigger takeaways if I'm a Texas fan is like this receiver group is what let them down just about much as anything offensively.
Yeah, there just aren't a lot of difference makers over there, I guess. There's not an A.D. Mitchell or even a Matthew Golden over there that you feel like, if we throw this guy if we get this guy the ball in space, we've got a chance. I guess the closest guy to that would be Ryan Wingo, and Ryan Wingo didn't really do much of anything. I know he scored
Yeah,
their
he
only touchdown, but
drops for sure.
yeah, this just isn't a Texas team with a bunch of needle movers on the perimeter, I guess what you would call it. And I think Georgia really exposed that. There's just not guys that can flip the game, can win their one-on-ones and really, really turn the tide. And Georgia took advantage of that. I mean, Georgia, I still cannot believe that the defense has come around the way that they have. Like, obviously, we knew it was a talented group and a talented front seven, and the secondary is loaded with 5 stars and everything. But I really didn't think that they were going to put it all together the way that they did last night. I mean, yeah, I'm at a
Yeah.
loss.
Maybe it's my blind optimism or my blind following of Kirby Smart, but I felt like we always kind of had to be better. It's like we're Georgia. We can't be like we can't be a bad defense. You know what I mean? So it's but I was definitely skeptical. We definitely agreed that I think we've accepted this team's not gonna have a pass rush. Maybe we can move without a pass rush. But yeah, it's a lot easier to win with one.
Oh yeah,
So yeah, it's awesome. The defense is really as good as the offense was, and Gunnar Stockton should be maybe the biggest conversation coming out of this game with 5 total touchdowns. The defense just dominating the way they did. Maybe it's just because that's what we want as Georgia fans. Like that's first and foremost, we need to have a dominant defense. It's like the way Florida fans feel about offense. It's like they don't Florida fans don't know about a good team they've had when they didn't have an elite offense. It's like Georgia, we're the junkyard dogs, man. Like if we can only have a defense, like we could win that way. But yeah, it's just that's the most encouraging thing I think from this performance. And then the ground game domination, sir. This is the other graphic I got made for us.
Oh, yeah.
The ground game domination. This is now the third time Georgia has played Texas. Outrushed them 377 to 83 in these 3 games, sir. 23 rushing yards on Saturday night. Like, man, that's just beautiful stuff right there. I don't know what you think about that graphic, but I could look at that graphic for a long time, sir.
Yeah, at the end of the day, you can put all the bells and whistles on it that you want to, but this game is about blocking and tackling. And Georgia just does that against Texas. I didn't think that this was Georgia didn't run the ball particularly well against Texas. Obviously, this is one of the best run defenses in the country. They're only allowing 70 rushing yards a game or so entering this one. But, oh my goodness, dude. Like, when you are outgaining them by 7 or 70 yards or whatever, 4 yards a carry compared to I think Texas had literally 1 yard per carry in this game. It from a clock perspective, from a down and distance perspective, it just does so much for you, man. It just puts you in. It just makes everything so much easier. And the fact that Georgia was throwing the ball well on top of it, that Gunnar Stockton, was hyper efficient, completing 75% of his passes, 4 touchdowns. It's everything that you want on offense and more. Like, when you can dominate the line of scrimmage and then kind of marry your running game with your passing game, and it's just, you can make it look easy. And I think that's what Georgia did against the defense that it's really tough to do that to, is just run the ball well, throw it over the top when you get the chances to, and go home happy. And that's what they did.
Absolutely, sir. And I should have included the yards per carry here. So, yeah, in the first game, 2024, they had 27 carries for 29 yards, 1.1 yards a carry. Georgia was at 3.6 that year. Then in the SEC championship last year, they had 28 carries for 31 yards. So they're at 1.1 yards per carry in that one. Georgia's at 3.8. And then last night, it was 17 carries for 23 yards. So they were up to 1.4 yards a carry on us last night. So maybe Georgia can get that back down to 1.1 next time they play. But then, yeah, Georgia's at 3.7. And like you said, Texas has a good defense. Like, Georgia's not running all over them in any of these games. Yeah. They're averaging 3.5 yards a carry in all these games. And they're just able to stay balanced and be you still have to respect the run game. And Texas in all 3 of these games has become one-dimensional. And whether it's Quinn Ewers, I guess Quinn Ewers came the closest in the SEC championship to beating us without a run game. But yeah, Texas hasn't had the quarterback play. And this year they didn't have the receiver play to beat Georgia through the air. Also, go ahead. Respond to that.
No, I was just going to say, they had to completely abandon the run game. The second half, they weren't even thinking about it. A team like Texas only being able to run the ball 17 times the entire game, that's just that right there, I think, just kind of shows you that they were not playing the kind of game they went in there wanting to play. You can't win like that. You can't win when you are literally having to drop back and pass every single time, and the defense knows you have to drop back and pass. When there's just no element of a run game at all that you have to respect, it just makes things so much easier for the defense.
Absolutely. And you also see the cumulative score there, 87-44, Georgia over Texas, the last 3 matchups. I think I may have a new favorite player on defense, sir. I don't know about you. I think I've shouted his name out several times on the podcast. Not my new favorite player, but the player that it just gets me more excited than any other player in recent history for Georgia is Javon Bullard. Javon Bullard, just my guy. Dude's a dog. He just plays with that intensity that you just want. Every DB on that, honestly, that 2023 team did. Oh, yeah. But my new favorite player, sir, may be DeMello Jones. DeMello Jones is an absolute dog, man. I don't know whose job he took, if it's Ellis Robinson, if it's Jonell Aguero. But Ellis Robinson. DeMello Jones is one of Georgia's 5 best DBs. Like,
Yeah.
maybe he can play safety. I don't know. Get him out there at safety. You know, we saw Ja'Cory Thomas really didn't play at all in the second half, and I'm not sure how good I still feel about Zion Branch to this point. Like, so that second safety spot is still just, I don't know. Janelle Aguero is great at that safety spot either. I just wanted to see DeMello Jones on the field, man. This guy has a nose for the football. Like, he makes plays on the ball. He makes plays in the run game. Like, what was it? It was Raylan Wilson that got that one tackle for loss where he just ducks inside his guy and just beats the block.
On the
Like,
reverse.
yeah, dude.
Yeah.
DeMello Jones, man. That's what gets me going when it comes to Georgia football.
Yeah, like what a physical player, man. I think that's the thing that stands out when you watch DeMello Jones is like this guy just plays so hard and like it's contagious. I feel like that's the kind of play style that really rubs off on the rest of the defense. Like when you see DeMello Jones making plays like that, where he's just, hitting really hard and he's jamming at the line and the guy can't even get out of his release or whatever. Like, yeah, that's you said it earlier, like that's the kind of junkyard dog stuff that you want to see out of your defensive backs. Is like, Georgia has been a bit maligned this season for not having a great secondary and like just kind of not playing the ball in the air particularly well, just not having a great pass rush that kind of makes things harder for the secondary and everything. But like when you're just playing like a dog like that, yeah, like DeMello Jones is a joy to watch play football. And I think it's just because he epitomizes that physicality and that, just mean boy football that I think Georgia kind of prides itself on playing.
For sure. And it's like it's such like a basic kind of like human, I don't even know what I'm trying to say, like animalistic level of it's like you just
Mhm.
know what excites you, you're just like, "Oh, you see a guy make a three-pointer, it's like, yeah, guy make ball from far away, It's like it's fun to watch. I've just noticed what gets me most excited about Georgia football is tackles in the flat. I think that's just what gets me going. I don't know how to describe it, but it's like when someone throws it out to the flat and a dude makes a play for a loss, it just gets the whole team going. I feel like this when me and my brother would always talk about like watching Alabama games, like in peak dynasty, like Kirby's defense and everything would just it'd be insane how you could be on top of every part of the play. It's like it's a
Yeah.
play action and they were all over the run man. And then there's pressure on the quarterback. And then he threw it. And then the guy got hit immediately. It's like every single aspect of the play, the defense is all over. That's how I felt about the one play. Who was it? It was Quintavious Johnson got through and got the hit on Arch Manning on the 3rd and 2 early in this game. And then CJ Allen just rocks the tight end. Like it's like 3rd and 2 and they lose 2 or 3 yards. And it's just this defense was just flying around like like we haven't seen much of in 2025. And it was a lot of fun to watch.
Yeah, at all three levels too. Like the interior pressure was really great. I mean, I can't count the amount of times that I just think I saw Texas's guards just get walked back into the line of scrimmage, and Georgia's guys were just bull rushing them to death. And then you have the DBs being super physical there. And I mean, Texas was having a hard time even running routes because of how tough Georgia's guys were playing them at the line. Like they were getting mugged. It's like when you've got a defensive head coach like Kirby Smart, and you have a defense that you, let's be honest, spent a lot of money on and really invested a lot of resources into, like this is the kind of thing you want to see. Like this is a mindset type of win to me. Like this, the way that Georgia just got on them early and they just kept dogging on them, dude, kept dogpiling. Once they got up and they kind of lulled a little bit offensively, they run the onside kick and they get even more aggressive. Like that's the kind of thing that I feel like separates Georgia from other teams. Is like they really do just want to pull you into the water and hold you under there the whole time until you drown. Like that's the kind of thing I feel like is really going to serve you well once you get into December, January, college football playoff like territory. This, man, I can't say enough about just the makeup of this team and what this performance says about the culture and the identity that they've got. Like this is everything that you want to see out of this team. I really think that. Like it just, I didn't think they were going to have a game like this all year. I think that's the reason I keep coming back to this overall, just like, oh my God, I can't believe it because really, I didn't think they had the guys to do this. And the fact that they do, and it's coming on right now, right before the playoff is about to start and everything, like this is exactly where you want to see your team start peaking. And that's what Georgia's doing.
For sure. And I think that's a good segue because I see Sanjay Gunnar, is it Gunnar?
Yeah.
In the chat here, and I was purposely not responding to this chat yet because I wanted to get to this, but Sanjay says, do you see any worth in playing the SEC championship? And then we also have Henry Diane here chiming in. Hell yes. We want the SEC and national championships, taking on all comers.
Yes, sir.
I feel like me and you were both kind of in this. I don't know how good this team is. I just want to get in the playoff. Like, I don't want to lose to Alabama again, whatever kind of. I don't know how if this team can win a national championship, but I feel like every game they play, I feel like they can win. You know, it's like let's take it game by game. I think this is the first time that I don't necessarily see the value in playing in the SEC championship in terms of I don't think this team needs it. What's almost the most satisfying thing to me, it's almost enough. I think they're the best team in the SEC. And it's like that's almost enough for me. It's like the fact that I think we're the best team in the SEC.
If I
think
it,
yeah, it's like we don't need to go to Atlanta and risk some injuries to prove it or whatever. It's like if I think just in my heart of hearts, we're the best team in the SEC. And if you're going into the playoff as the best team in the SEC, you probably have a chance to win the whole damn thing. So it's like at this point, I don't necessarily need to prove it, but I also just it's the SEC, and I would love to have an SEC championship.
Yeah.
So yeah, if Georgia, if the things fall the way they fall, and Georgia can get in, I definitely want Georgia to get in the SEC championship because I think they'll win it. I don't if it's A&M, if it's Alabama. I think Georgia's a better team than both of them right now, and obviously they don't play their best game against Alabama. That seems to be something weird when that team's wearing crimson and white on the other side. But it's like I almost feel satisfied enough that like, no, I now think we're as good. And also the way the Alabama losing yesterday too now worked out. Like there was the committee last year just all of a sudden made the decision that we can't penalize conference championship losers. So there was in a scenario where Georgia's sitting there at 5 and 3 and 4 playing the SEC championship and they both stay ahead of us. Now, if Georgia wins out, there's a good chance they're ranked higher than one of the team it's in the SEC championship if they're not in there. So, and they could just still get one of those first round buys. So I think Georgia is definitely positioned well right now. But what do you say about SEC championship?
The door is open, man. The possibility is there now that Alabama lost. Obviously, it would have been nice to see A&M not make a 27-point comeback yesterday.
Wild.
But they did, and they won, and that's a big win for A&M. I mean, I don't mean to go off on an A&M tangent here, but obviously the easy counter to this is like, well, don't go down by that much in the first place. But the fact that A&M could just rattle off like 28 unanswered points like that, I think says a lot about their team. But yeah, as far as Georgia is concerned, I mean, this is really the kind of game that makes you feel like you can beat anybody. Like the way that they did it, there was no ifs, ands, or buts about who the better team was. Georgia pretty much dominated all three phases, every single aspect of offense, every single aspect of defense. I feel like they won. There wasn't anything that Texas outclassed Georgia in. And I'm sure that, like tactically, there are definitely reasons that you could argue for like, oh, it's actually better for Georgia to not make the SEC championship because of this and because of that. But, I think if you polled every player on Georgia's team, yes or no, do you want to make the SEC championship? It would be a unanimous yes, because just from a competitive standpoint and just as a player, like, that's kind of what you get up for, like you want to be in those situations. You want to win championships. You want to win your conference and be dominant. And I've got no doubt that I think that's how Georgia feels. So yeah, at this point, it really does feel like I'm with Henry in the chat where I feel like, dude, like bring us whoever. I mean, I really think Georgia can play with anybody right now. And obviously I don't mean to act like, Texas is a good football team, but it's not like Georgia, mopped the floor with like the number 2 team in the country or anything. But Texas is a really good team, and Georgia dog walked them. And I think that enough just gives you a reason to be like, yeah, these guys can hang with anybody. They can beat anybody. So I want them. I want Georgia to make an SEC championship, man. Like I know people have their reasons for not wanting that, but dude, I do. I want to watch this team play more games.
Yeah, absolutely. It's like I think 2 weeks ago I had the tactical mind that you're talking about. That's like, I'm not sure it's good. There's this thing. Well, last year this happened, and maybe, and it's like because I wasn't as confident in this team. And now 2 weeks later, it's like, so if I had to take truth serum a couple weeks ago, it probably would have been because I didn't trust this team. So I didn't want that extra game. And now I'm like, I think this team can beat whoever they play in Atlanta. So sure, yeah, let's go to Atlanta. Let's see
Yeah,
who we play. I guess it's A&M, right? I don't think there's any scenario where it's not A&M.
I think so.
If
Yeah,
Georgia were to get in, I guess there could be some sort of
yeah.
three-way
I'm,
tie if A&M
I'm,
loses to Texas.
yeah.
Yeah,
They
I'm
would
not
have to
sure
like
how the
lose out though or something. Like I'm pretty sure they've got it all but wrapped up.
Yeah, because they have a cupcake next week. I don't know, is it Chattanooga or something? They
Something
play
like that. Yeah.
someone and then Texas, but Alabama still. I think Alabama losing to Auburn is like the cleanest scenario for
Mhm.
Georgia has the tiebreaker of Ole Miss, so they would get in. Um, but yeah, it's an interesting place to be for sure. I think things have changed a lot with this Georgia team, and also, and speaking of things changing, they changed for some people. They didn't change for this show right here. Note that Georgia Voice of College Football always had faith in Mike Bobo.
Oh
Just
yeah.
give Mike Bobo his damn
Oh
flowers,
yeah.
man. Like this Georgia offense is just so creative. The way they move guys around, the way they use Zachariah Branch, the way they always stay balanced, and the way this offense is just perfectly suited to Gunnar Stockton's skill set.
Mhm.
Like just get him going in the run game. And I thought that was interesting too. Like Kirby Smart like said that like in his little like not like the pregame interview of like literally on the sideline like as kickoff is happening that like um it's like we just kind of get Gunnar Stockton in a rhythm, and sometimes that's him running the ball. Like he gets a good run, and now he's in rhythm. And you saw second play of the game, he goes for 19, and okay, now Georgia's offense has their rhythm. So Mike Bobo, man, just and that touchdown to London Humphrey, where you ran Delp in motion, and the DBs got confused on
That
who was
was
guarding
sick.
who, and Humphrey just gets lost. Like
No
Mike
idea.
Bobo is just always dialing up good stuff, man, and it's good to see this Georgia offense. Just basically, what is
That
it?
was
They just when this offense is working, scoring between like 35, 40 points, like every SEC
yeah.
game, just about.
It really does. I think you said it like it, man, what I we probably haven't harped on the offensive performance enough. We probably haven't given Gunnar Stockton enough credit because I think you said it like you watch this team play and it's like, man, this they are getting the absolute most out of their quarterback and then some. I mean, it really does feel like this offense is just exactly tailored to fit Gunnar Stockton's strengths. And that's a play calling thing. Like that London Humphreys touchdown, man. There was nobody even guarding him. I mean, it just took one little motion. They motioned the tight end over, and it created this whole miscommunication that had things wide open. It's like when you hit that level of nirvana as a play caller, like there's just nothing anybody can do to you, man. And I think it was after the game or around then. I think Gunnar Stockton like finished up his interview with the media and was like, "Mike Bobo's the best OC in the country." Like he was yelling that and stuff. And yeah, for all the screen haters out there, for all the people that deride Mike Bobo and say that he's too conservative or whatever, but like I think this is the kind of offensive performance that shows you like Georgia has the exact kind of players for Mike Bobo to do what he wants to do, where they can line up in these two tight end sets. They can throw screens to Zachariah Branch and trust that he's going to make the first guy miss. They can run Gunnar Stockton on a QB power and trust he's going to get the first down. Like it just everything's clicking for these guys, man. They got everything that they wanted last night. And there's no reason for me to believe that that won't be the case going forward. It just feels like the perfect marriage between players and play caller. Like there's just an understanding there that I really think you can't make a big enough deal out of. Georgia's got a really good offense, man. Gunnar Stockton is really good.
Yeah, absolutely. It's and maybe this is my other like kind of soapbox moment because I like last week we were talking like maybe Gunnar shouldn't be a Heisman, but he should. Maybe I'm not going to go to the party, but I just want to be invited. It's like it's a common courtesy. Like I think I've graduated to the next level. Like this man's in the Heisman conversation.
Mhm.
Like Fernando Mendoza, Julian Sayin, whatever. Like Ty Simpson. Like this dude's been as good as any of those guys in
Yeah.
college football. And also, I want to paraphrase a classic philosophical debate
Oh, yeah.
experiment. If a player has a Heisman caliber season and no one is around to see it, did it actually happen? Who's watching Indiana and Ohio State games? I'm sorry.
Hey,
This
let's
is the
not be
most
pejorative about
irrelevant.
Indiana. Indiana is
Yeah,
awesome.
Indiana's been good. Have you watched their games? Like none of their games are interesting. Like I go back and watch
I
highlights and
watched them
everything.
play Wisconsin yesterday. It was fun.
It's just the Big Ten. I can never remember a year where the Big Ten was more irrelevant. Like the Big Ten is just a whack conference from like number 3 to like number. How many teams they have? 16 now? Is it
Yeah,
18?
I
They have
think
18, don't
it's
they?
either 16 or 18. It's too
From
many, whatever
three,
that is.
from
It's
three.
too
Okay,
damn high.
maybe I'll be generous. From like 4 or 5, USC looks kind of solid.
They look pretty good.
From like 4 or 5 to 18, this conference is just awful. Like there's no like they're not awful, they're boring. There's no like explosive teams that are like dangerous. Like there was a time where Oklahoma was like in 9th or 10th in the standings and it's like I watch this team's defense and they're rowdy and they get after it. Like Auburn is giving teams problems and things like that. And obviously SEC bias. Oh, when UCLA beats Penn State, our conference, well, that makes us look bad. But whatever, the SEC, it's because of how deep the conference is. It's just, it when you see it. You're watching a higher level of football. There's just more interesting games. Like, yeah, maybe it's an indictment on A&M when they're down 30-3 to South Carolina. But I feel like it's because South Carolina is significantly better than the 14th best team in the Big Ten. Like, but I don't know. I'm just watching Gunnar Stockton play in big games after big games. Georgia has as many ranked wins as Oregon, Ohio State, and Indiana combined. Like, Gunnar is doing these things in big time games. And Fernando Mendoza, like his Heisman moment is a comeback versus like a 5-5 team.
Hey,
like, it was great. It was a
Fernando
great.
Mendoza's Heisman moment is pretty sick, though.
It was great.
Catch,
I mean, that catch, he didn't make that catch, to be fair.
I
He
know,
made it throw
but
those too high. I'm just fucking.
But let's not act like that wasn't like super dope. But no, I know what you're saying.
Like a minute and a half drive for sure.
Yeah. I don't want to. I want to tread lightly here because I don't want to turn Gunnar Stockton's Heisman candidacy into like a larger statement about like SEC just being SEC supremacy or whatever. Like I don't want to do that. I don't want to make it this whole thing. But yeah,
you can put that on me.
I mean, I do agree with you though that like the SEC just kind of is a different beast in terms of like the median team in the SEC and even like below the median, like the bad teams in the SEC are so much better than the bad teams anywhere else. I think you kind of saw that against South Carolina. Like the fact that
Florida Ole Miss.
Yeah, exactly. Like the fact that Gunnar Stockton is going out there and doing this every week, I think it really warrants some like revisiting the way that we and other people were talking about Gunnar Stockton before the year. The big conversation about Gunnar Stockton was like, as long as he doesn't mess it up, as long as he can keep the offense on schedule, they should maybe be fine. Dude, Gunnar Stockton is putting the team on his back. Like Gunnar Stockton, he's not having to carry the team or anything. I mean, he's getting good support.
They got a bunch of playmakers too, for sure.
Yeah, but like they are winning games because Gunnar Stockton is playing so well. And I really didn't think that was going to be the case for more than a game or two going into the year. I didn't think Gunnar Stockton was going to be a guy that was like, we can win because we've got this guy, you know? I thought it was going to be more of a matter of like, run the ball, minimize
make enough plays.
Yeah, make enough plays, maximize his strength, minimize the weaknesses. But dude, like, to hell with that. They're just winning games because Gunnar Stockton's a dog, because Gunnar Stockton's a really great player. And obviously, his teammates love him. I mean, we're not in the locker room, but he really seems like he's a great leader. He seems like they really rally around him. And he's making the plays to back it up. And like, dude, I didn't think that there was going to be that level of playmaking from the quarterback position this year for Georgia. I was really concerned about Carson Beck leaving and what that meant for the intermediate passing game and the passing game when it's out of structure and everything. And Gunnar has really just put all of those concerns to bed for me. I'm not going to sit here and be like, oh, he's like unequivocally like the best quarterback in the nation or anything, but he's in that conversation, and that's more than enough for me.
Yeah, exactly. And maybe I feel good enough that like you guys don't have to care about him nationally, but I know he's one of the best out there, and maybe that's enough. But yeah, 24 of 29, 229 yards, 4 touchdowns, 1 pick, and then 29 yards on 6 carries and a touchdown. And he only sacked a couple of times, sacked 2 times. So
Yeah.
4 rushing attempts really for,
Yeah.
probably 30 something, maybe 40 yards.
Another
He also
rushing
doesn't, I guess he doesn't lose a lot of yards usually when he gets sacked.
No, he
I heard
doesn't.
someone make that point this past week. He'll kind of scramble and then lose a yard or 2 or something like that lots of times. But yeah, I'm with you. I did not see Gunnar Stockton being the reason Georgia was going to be winning a lot of these games. Like, oh, if we can get back to having a good run game and giving the ball to our playmakers, he can just do enough. And I mean, and that rushing touchdown I had was definitely Stetson-esque. I don't know if anyone else has said it already, but he's definitely making some Stetson-esque plays here, and I'm here for it, man.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, what he adds to this offense as a runner and just that extra element, extra wrinkle or whatever, like it really does. I mean, I think Kirby was talking about this in the week leading up to the game, but it's like it's almost kind of a necessity nowadays to have a quarterback that can move around and run and get yards on the ground. And you watch with Gunnar Stockton, you kind of see how much that unlocks with the rest of the offense because Carson Beck could scoot, like he could. I don't think Carson Beck gets enough credit. Like he was pretty good at tucking it and running it when the opportunity presented itself. But Stockton's on another level from that. Like when you can design runs for your quarterback and like power plays, counter plays, like plays that really rely on the guy with the football being a dog. Like these are not schemed up runs. These are not like, oh, he's gonna fake it and keep it and no one's gonna see him and he's gonna just get to 10 yards. Like, no, like he's having to really, put his head down and run forward and get yards the dirty way. And that just I think that's such a huge deal. Having that threat on the ground is a huge deal. And they spent all offseason talking about how they were having this renewed focus on the running game and the running game is going to come back and we need it and all these things. And you're seeing it in real time. Like I feel like it's not always in football. You can hear coaches talk about their exact philosophy and what they want to do and envision it. And it actually comes true. It's usually life is usually a bit more complicated than that. But the fact that Georgia spent this whole offseason saying that they were going to really bring the running game back and really, I guess, just turn it around, to watch them do it has been a joy. It's been awesome. RBU, man.
Yeah, it's amazing what can happen when you don't lead the nation in drops. The offensive coordinator can call some good stuff. But yeah, like Beck was athletic for a pocket passer. It's like, oh, okay, he can move a little. Like Gunnar is a legit dual threat. And I always use I feel like kind of the new prototype in football for like a quarterback, assuming you have a good roster around him, is Jalen Hurts. Like that's kind of the template I throw around with a lot of people. And Eagles fans look at it as like disrespect. It's like he's a game manager. He's a solid game manager, takes care of the ball, makes good decisions. And he can take off and run for 40, 50 yards. Like a dual threat game manager. Like Jake Fromm was a good quarterback. Yeah. Greg McElroy was a good quarterback. AJ McCarron was a good quarterback as game managers. But if those guys could take off and run for 40, 50 yards, like they're a lot better players, you know, like a Bo Nix or something. Like you're just a solid quarterback and you're that athletic. It's like that feels like the new prototype. And Georgia just like you said, that design run that was the third down, I think, at one point. Then they got him into the red, got him inside the 10.
Yeah.
And then a couple plays later, they basically call the same play where Gunner's acting like he's a runner all the way, and then he throws the touchdown to Lawson Lucky. Like they sold that. Like just There are
Yeah.
just so many nice play. Like they call screens, they call these little design quarterback runs, and then they call little fakes off of them. Like it's just
Mhm.
it was such a well called game by Mike Bobo, and yeah, Mike Bobo and Gunnar Stockton. You can't say enough about them in this game.
Yeah. I think the most
And
underrated
Was he committed to Bobo at South
he
Carolina? Is that what
he
it
was.
was?
I know, I mean, Gunnar and Bobo go way back. Like, I'm
Yeah.
not sure where the relationship really began, but that's one thing you always see is, like, they're as tight as a quarterback as an offensive coordinator can be. So, yeah, he might have been committed to South Carolina. I don't think I haven't heard that, so I don't know, but
Am I
yeah,
making that up? He was definitely committed to South Carolina at one
I
point.
think
He had to be with
yeah,
Bobo.
he probably was. I mean, I think the most underrated thing about play calling that maybe we don't think about or talk about enough is being able to make your run plays look like your pass plays, where it's like it's not just immediately discernible based on what you're lining up and what you're running one way or another. But like Georgia is so good about those RPOs, those passing concepts that they run out of 12 personnel. Like they're so good at just at sneaking that stuff in to where you don't really know what they're going to run based on their pre-snap look. And I think that says a lot about the guys that they have. It says a lot about their tight ends that you can load the field with tight ends and still feel like you can hit a big passing play because you've just got such athletic players there. But
That really is
yes,
what the tight ends do for this
yeah,
offense. Like to not show your hand like that.
absolutely. I mean, that's kind of the biggest thing for me about this team that they do so well is like they play with this confidence that they can beat you any way that they want to offensively. And this Texas game, I think, really just shows that perfectly. Like, there's just they had all the answers to the test, man. There was no way that they were going to be wrong against these guys and against an elite front seven. I mean, Texas has got Colin Simmons is going to be one of the best players in the NFL one day. Anthony Hill is going to be one of the best players in the NFL one day. Like, this is not some Mississippi State. You could kind of look at it and be like, hey, well, it is Mississippi State, whatever. No, dude, Texas, you can't really do that. This is an NFL caliber defense that Georgia pretty much did whatever they wanted with. And again, I didn't know if that was going to be the case going into the year. The fact that they've got this offense is really crazy.
Yeah, it really is, man. Maybe Mike Bobo knows a thing or two about developing quarterbacks and coaching
Maybe
offense.
so.
Maybe, I don't know. Just a theory. Maybe Kirby Smart doesn't give big time jobs to his friends, just completely
For nothing.
undeserving. I don't know. That's just a thought. Jared Curtis is also big Mike
Yeah,
Bobo fan. So, that's these guys know a little something about football. Also,
right.
we're on commit watch. I think we're probably not going to still be on the air. I think we're wrapping things up here, but the number one player in the country of the class of 2028,
Yeah,
Jaden Wade, I think is supposed to
there.
announce like minutes from now, and
Really?
he's gotten a crystal. But yeah, it's 2028. This guy is a sophomore.
I didn't know
I
that was
hard for
today.
me. Yeah, he's literally committing, I think, in minutes here. Number one player in the country, quarterback out of IMG, Jaden Wade, and he got Steve Wiltfong, a Fong bomb, I believe is what they call it. Steve Wiltfong predicted him to go to Georgia a couple days ago. So
Farm bomb.
yeah, Fong bomb to Georgia. So yeah, so Gunnar Stockton, Jared Curtis, maybe Jaden Wade, split
Yeah.
these guys up.
Where's
Like
the
what? That'd be like 3 years apart, right? Curtis, no, 2 years. Curtis is the 2026
Curtis
class, and
is
so he'd be
2026. Yeah.
2028. So
Yeah, I saw that Georgia had I think they had 3 quarterback recruits there last night, right? I know Curtis was there, and there was I think they had another 5-star there, and then they had a 4-star.
yeah, junior Elijah something. I just
Yeah,
know that because
yeah,
my brother's 2 sons are Elijah and Jaden, and these Elijah and Jaden was the name of these guys,
yeah.
2027 and
Nice.
2028 quarterbacks. But yeah, it looks like he's literally talking to, is it Newberg? Jamie Newberg right now, like with his family. I think he's about to commit. Like maybe we should milk this and see if he can commit. But yeah, anything else you want to say about this offense that we hadn't already said?
Oh, man. Um, I think we said it all, man, but I keep going back to they spoke this into existence, man. They spent all spring and all summer saying we're gonna bring the running game back. We're gonna be the Georgia Bulldogs again, who ground and pound you. And to watch that actually come to fruition has been a real treat and a real joy. I mean, this is a culture win, bro. This is a dog mentality type of win. I mean, for everything that we, picked this team apart for in September and the early part of October, and there are still things to critique. Obviously, this is not a flawless football team, but I think this win just says so much about the way this team is coached and constructed and wired up here upstairs. You can't say enough about it, man. Just a total domination. And oh yeah.
Also, for
Oh,
those wondering, sharing
live
my
on the
screen
air.
here.
Live
Jaden
on
Wade, number one
the air.
quarterback of 2028, just
Oh my
committed to the
goodness.
Dogs. So Georgia's just loading up. It's a good
Wow.
weekend to be a Georgia Bulldog.
What a good week.
Like Thomas T-Bone said, how about them Dogs? I don't know about you. That's basically my favorite thing to yell at strangers, but which they're not strangers when they're Georgia fans, they're family. But
90,000
that is my favorite thing to say after a big win. And I don't know how many times I yelled
dude.
that in Jacksonville. Oh, and I meant to say that we hadn't even gotten into that. You were at this game, correct,
Yes, I
sir?
was.
So what was
Oh,
what was just the we're wrapping things up here, but
yeah.
what was the vibes being in the stadium?
You couldn't beat it with a stick, man. It was awesome. It was so much fun. I mean, that place, I feel like there's never any doubt about whether or not Sanford Stadium is going to bring the energy. I mean, come on, you know what you're getting into. It's between the hedges. It's 7:30 p.m. kickoff in Athens, Georgia, but yeah, it was infectious, man. I mean, before the game, you could cut the tension in the air with a knife. And then just the way Georgia kept playing, the crowd fed into it, and I think the players fed off of the crowd, and it was an electric atmosphere, man. It just how can you not be romantic about college football?
Absolutely, sir. Texas fans come to Athens, Georgia for the first time, and they were greeted properly. Let's just say that. So, anything else from you, sir? I know we'll be coming
Yeah,
to the folks either. Sometimes we do the Sunday. We end up coming back at Tuesday. I don't know if we're doing Monday or
yeah.
Tuesday this week. We can discuss that, but it'll be at 7:00 live, whichever day we decide. But anything else you want to add before we wrap things up, sir?
I think that's all I got, man. What a win.
All right.
What a
Good
game.
stuff, man. Yeah, and a wild Saturday. We kind of touched on South Carolina blowing the 30-point lead. Like Shane Beamer also. Does he get fired for this?
Dude,
Like
he might, man. Today might be the day.
all the
I would
halftime
hate it
stuff.
though.
The halftime stuff is brutal. Like how much he's celebrating at
Yeah.
halftime.
Dude,
Like
I love Shane Beamer. I don't want Shane Beamer to get fired, but he might,
yeah.
man.
Do you love him or do you just love him being South Carolina's coach?
No,
Just
I genuinely do like the guy.
okay.
Like I do. Man. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that was massive. A&M coming back. Like literally, I think I said it in my group thread. The worst half of football I think I've ever seen a team play. Like I've never seen a team make so many mistakes, just in all facets. The way
Yeah.
A&M did to get down 30-3, and they did the opposite of that in
I mean,
the second half. I mean, they had that 4th and 12 too. Like the first drive of the second half, they were like, "Okay, we're desperate. We got to go for this." Like the game might be over right there if they don't convert that. Although it wasn't because they basically erased that comeback by the start of the fourth quarter. It was crazy how early you knew South Carolina was going to blow this lead. Like
yeah.
they were still up 3 touchdowns. You're like, yeah, they're going to lose this game, aren't they? But and then the other big one, man, Oklahoma taking down Alabama 2nd year in a row. Oklahoma's defense is rowdy, man. I
Oh
feel like
yeah.
they're the only other team that feel kind of like Georgia and like
Mhm.
in terms of like they know who they are and from like a character perspective, and like that's a team you don't want to play, I think, in the college football playoff. And I think if they can take care of business, they're going to be there. I think 9-3 Oklahoma had an argument with their schedule is just ridiculous. 10-2 Oklahoma should be a top 5-6 seed in the playoff.
Yeah, I think so too, man. That Venables has got those guys really playing right now. 2-0 against Alabama since they joined the SEC. I mean, it's a pretty big endorsement, I guess. But Yeah, crazy weekend of football, man. I can't believe Texas A&M just ripped off that comeback the way that they did. Like, hey, the pathway is there for Georgia to make the SEC championship now.
Yeah, absolutely, man. And maybe it's just, there's such a bias towards offensive coaches, and they're cute and they have all these these different creative ways of doing things that I there's something about Brent Venables that, like, okay, another defensive guy. I love the intensity. Kirby Smart, Brent Venables. I love the defensive side of the ball. So that gets me going as well. But that's all I got for this episode. I think I appreciate everyone for tuning in live, everyone who's watching our channel, everything. Please like, share, and subscribe. And we'll leave Gregory Bradley. We'll let him leave the last word here as the as the minister of culture would say for the Texas Longhorns. All right. Go Dogs.
All right.
College football is even more exciting when you've got some action on the line, and the games are even better when you're cashing in. And the Voice of College Football is the place to be to get the greatest value. Start with my picks. 75% against the money line, 58% against the spread, and I've got a 40-plus year track record. 11-0 in the college football playoff for me last year against the money line, 8-3 against the spread. And I'm just the warm-up act. Steve Merrill of Wager Talk is our ace in the hole, show stopper. 7 years with the Voice of College Football, over 30 years in the industry. Steve gives us analysis on all the big games, but you can't miss Steve's weekly under-the-radar pick. 28-12 against the spread the last 3 years. You also get picks from some of our top analysts here at the Voice of College Football, including Corey Bratta, Matt Zemek, and Steve Dace. Check out those numbers. Become a YouTube or Patreon member for just $99 per month. Go to the main channel on YouTube, click join, and then select the betting tier. Do the same thing on Patreon. Make 2025 a winner now.